cargo services is concerned. I'm now joined by Sammy Gachuhi, who is the Deputy General Manager of Afristar Company, which is the operating company for SGR. Thank you so much, Sammy, for joining us this afternoon. We would like to know, as far as SGR is concerned, what measures have you put in place to ensure that there is safety of passengers and there is safety of staff?
Thank you very much, Mercy. First of all, I'm very grateful for the invite for today. You are well aware that we are both dealing with our Kenyans locally, and we are also dealing with the international countries. We need to ensure them that we are moving cargo and our passenger trains are really safe. And we have put in measures to ensure this. Now, first of all, in terms of cargo, we are working on a 24-hour basis, and one of the main things that we've done as Afristar, we have ensured that we keep and checking on our staff at all times to ensure that they are not infected. We have provided for them a place where they can be able to stay, to ensure that even as they go to work, they don't mingle with the other people, and thus reducing their contamination on the coronavirus. In terms of the passengers on the passenger trains, we have first of all ensured that as the passengers come in, they are screened first of all, and then once we have checked their goods, we then ensure that they are sanitized. They then go and pick their tickets from the ticketing office. From there, then they go and we ensure that they are sanitized immediately after the ticketing office. Once they've passed through the ticketing office and their tickets have been verified to be okay, we then ensure that the same are also sanitized. From there, the passengers then go to the waiting lounge. One of the measures that we've put in place is to ensure that there is a social distancing. So we've ensured that each passenger sits a seat away from the other, so that we can ensure that we abide with the government regulations and the rules that we've been given by the Ministry of Health to ensure that they keep the 1 meter distance. Inside the waiting lounge, we have ensured that the windows and all the ventilations are fully open to ensure that there is proper circulation of air at all times. We then have the corridors that the passengers have to pass through before they board the trains. These places are fully, the windows are fully open, the ventilations are fully open to ensure circulation of air.
Okay.
Now, in terms of our toilets and the waiting areas, we are making sure that we are fumigating the areas at all times. Immediately the passengers leave, just before the new passengers come in from either Mombasa or Nairobi.
Okay, Sam. I know Kenyans have this habit of getting to the station last minute. Have you encouraged them to get in a bit earlier? Because I know most of them, if the train is leaving at 8:30, most of them will be getting to the station at 8 a.m., which brings a bit of congestion. How are you dealing with crowd control? Thank you, Mercy.
Now, one of the things we've done is that because we needed to abide with the government regulations in regard to the curfew, we only have 2 trains moving at the moment. So 1 train leaving Mombasa at 10:30 and 1 train leaving Nairobi at 10:30. And what we've done, we've requested our passengers to ensure that they are at the station at least 2 hours in advance. So once they are there 2 hours in advance, we are able to release them on time. So what is essentially happening at the checks, we are only checking a few of the passengers as they come in. As we release them from the waiting area to go into the train, we are releasing them in small batches, so that we ensure that we abide with the rules and the requirements and the directives of the government on social distancing. Okay. Has COVID-19 affected your operations in any way, and how are you dealing with it? Now, in terms of our operations, we have been running 4 passenger trains. But just to abide with the government regulations and to ensure that the Kenyans are home on time before the curfew starts, we are ensuring that our trains are either in Mombasa or in Nairobi at 4 o'clock. So this has affected our operations a bit because we've reduced the numbers. However, we need to abide with the government regulations of meeting the 60% in terms of the numbers that we move in the trains.
Okay. And what about cargo? Are we still experiencing the same number of trains that are moving cargo?
In terms of cargo, thank you, Mercy. You know, we are controlled by the amounts of cargo that come into the country. We have had a very, very small reduction in terms of cargo that we are bringing in, very insignificant at all, and I'm happy that the Kenyans have been able to look out broadly and from other countries, and we are still getting the goods that we expect to bring into the country. So in terms of the number of trains, we have maintained almost the number of trains that we've been running all along.
Okay. Lastly, Sammy, what are some of the tips that you can give Kenyans as they come to the train, to pick their trains to different destinations, to adhere to health safety, both for themselves and for their fellow travelers?
My request is, the government has given regulations. Please, let's ensure that we maintain the social distance. Let's ensure we have the masks at all time. And this will be able to assist. Even as you come to the stations, please abide to the request that is made by our people. And I'm very glad to say that the Kenyans have really followed and have abided to the regulations that have been put in the government. We are also working with the county governments. I'm happy to say Nairobi, Taita Taveta, and Mombasa. We are glad with the support that they've given us, and even the police, just to ensure that we abide with the rules and regulations that have been put in government to ensure that we prevent the spread of the coronavirus.
Okay, thank you so much, Sammy, for joining us. We were speaking to Sammy. Sammy Gachuhi, who is the deputy general manager for AfriStar, and of course, simply just tips on what to do when you're boarding the train. It's not business as usual, so it's very important. Shiko and